Today I'm making a paper doll for Kylie's birthday, my granddaughter. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but I think she came out cute, and I know she's going to love it. Hi, I'm Christine, the artist behind Darlissa Designs, and I'm happy you're here. Welcome. If you remember in my last video, we made papers to create doll clothing. Instead of doing paper dolls, I used this harder cardboard, like the kind you find on the back of a notebook. Of course, I had to create two because Kylie can't get a birthday present without Skylar getting something, so now they'll have each a doll to play with. This has been a very difficult process because these clothes are not perfect, and I had a light board that was great for tracing, and I have no idea where it is, so I'm going to use this. It's just one of my lights that I use. And I'm going to place this over here and just kind of adjust it a little bit with a pencil because it's not lining up right. So you see the shoulders don't hit, and I think I'll make this a little bit shorter and wider. So I'm going to go and sketch these out because I won't be able to do this and talk. And then I'll start cutting these out, and we're going to glue these. First, I want to hand paint these. I'm thinking this out as I go. Can you tell? I'm going to adjust these and reprint them, and then use these as a stencil to trace out on the chipboard. And then I'll take the paper that we created on Monday for Masterboard Monday, and then I guess kind of either glue it on or decoupage it on and seal it. So I don't know where we're going with this, but I'm taking you with me. Okay, here's how I decided to do this. I have a larger one that the arms did not fit in the right spot. So I just cut this out, and I'm going to move this because I want this to cover her hips. So I'm going to tape this together so that her arms land there. But I'm going to pull this out here so that it clears her hips. So I think that will work pretty well. And I'm going to tape it and then retrace it on another sheet. And then when I'm done readjusting these pieces of clothing, I will tape it to another sheet of paper, scan it, and reprint it. I think that's going to be the best way to do this. So, and I think I'll just make this a little bit, give it a little bit more room here, but I'm going to have to do that with the pencil because if I move that up now, it's not going to clear her shoulders. So the whole goal here is to clear her upper arm, is to make sure that these fit. Tape that together so it's nice and secure. Now I can retrace this onto a piece of paper. So I can, well, now I have to go get a piece of paper. So I'm going to retrace these out. I'll do all of them, but I just figured I'd show you how I'm doing this. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, but once I get these patterns done, I'll have them forever and I can make them over and over again. This is the hard part. Okay, I figured out a much better way to do this, and I'll show you how I did it. So that fits her perfectly. So what I did was I just took a scrap of paper. I'm laying her on this light. Now, if you don't have a light like this, these are lights. This is not what this is meant to be. I have a light board somewhere and I cannot find it. So I'm just doing this, but if you have a glass table or a piece of glass, you can put a light underneath it and then trace on top of the glass. So I'm just going to put her arm hole there, and I'm going to trace lightly outside her body, and then I'm going to make a little neck here. And I'm not worried about this side because what I'm going to do is then I'm going to fold this in half. So that it's nice and symmetrical. I'm going to fold this in half. Well, let me make sure that I have, okay, see, first of all, I want this to be curved in a little bit more. And this is going to be the middle. That was important because I don't want to make it lopsided. So that's, I think, going to help. Now, let's see if this works. I'm just going to cut this out, and I'll use this as a template to retrace it. I think I might need to enlarge this slightly so it goes over. We'll see. I might be cutting this in a little bit too much. But once I get the pattern worked out, it's easy just to hit enlarge on the printer just a little bit. And I think it will still fit her nicely. Okay, so let's see if this is going to fit her. Okay, that's nice, but I think this is a little too small. So I'm going to make another attempt and bring her, I wonder if I can see that under here. No, see, I can't see those lines under here, but I'm going to do this where it comes out on her shoulder more. I like that better. And I am going to go a little past where her outline is to be sure that I get this. Now let's do the middle again. That's about the middle. So let's see if this one's going to be better. And this is how I work things out. And I know that there's better ways to do things. But right now, this is the way I'm doing it. Because I like to play and experiment, and that was not on the middle line right there. So we'll see how I keep messing it up. This is the middle and this is the middle. So all right, now I'll cut it and we'll see if this fits her better. I did want to go in a little bit more, so we might need to adjust that slightly. But I love projects like this where you finally get it worked out and then you have a great pattern to file away and you never have to do this again. So sometimes it takes time to figure it out, but I like that. So now I can take this, and of course I'll make a better pattern, but let's cut off a little piece of this just because I'm curious. And I'm gonna trace, I think I like this big flower here. So let's trace this out. My pencil definitely needs a good sharpening here. And I'm gonna do the same thing that I did, just for the sake of making it completely symmetrical. There's the middle line there, and here's the middle line here. And let's see if this works. So there's a little bit of an edge there. It's hard to see on this blue. But when I get this pattern created on the chipboard, it'll be a lot easier. I can turn this over and trace on the back side. Okay, this is the super fun part. I'm excited about this. Let's see what she looks like with her new tank top. How cute is that? Okay, I definitely want to make this a little bit wider. So I'm gonna create now on the chipboard, and I need to grab a piece. I'm gonna create an outline here, but I'm gonna make it a little bit wider. I actually think it needs to be a little bit wider. We'll try that. But I like the lines here. Okay, wait, let me rethink this because these are perfect up here. Okay, I couldn't stand at my regular table to figure this out. I'm really having to wrap my head around how to make these clothes fit, but I'm almost there, and I'm creating the little templates so I can trace them onto here, and then I can decoupage the papers that we created on Monday for Masterboard Monday onto here. So the clothes have color, and then I have templates to create more clothes later. Okay, here's an update. I got all the clothes sized correctly, I think, and I'm tracing them out on here, and I'm going to cut them out now, and then I will take them in to paint them and decoupage the paper that we created on top. I think that's all I'm going to do for now because I need to redesign the shoes and everything, but I think that's enough for a start. Okay, this project has been very confusing, and I refuse to quit. So I've got these cut out, and I have all the patterns that I need. So I'm gonna take one away. Skylar's is gonna go to the side for now because I only want to work on one set because I still have some pieces to cut out for Skylar's. So now I'm going to paint this little doll so that I can seal it on both sides so it's nice and sturdy, and she has a little bit of color. Can you believe that this is from a week ago? Now, before I did that, I should have sprayed this a little bit because I know that it is probably drying out. But I gotta tell you, I am so happy that I have this, because otherwise this paint would have just gone in the garbage. So I'm assuming that little Kylie is going to like a pink bathing suit. Now, oh, you know what I wanted to do? Sorry. I really wanted to give this a coat of gesso because I know that when I paint the cardboard, the chipboard, that it's just going to soak all of this up. Let me get a better paintbrush here. Okay, and one thing I did, I spent some time this morning working on my lighting. I've had a problem with my, I don't know if you notice or if it's just on my TV or I don't know, my settings. I think it might be my settings in CapCut when it exports. So I took some time to fix my lighting situation. And to me right now it feels a little bit dark, but I think what I did might fix the problem. So if you notice a difference and you think it's better, let me know. If the video looks fine to you and it's never been a problem, let me know that too. Because I'm learning here, I just have a little bit of deli paper down here to cover my tile because I'm getting tired of cleaning it. Okay, so I don't want to cover everything up because I want to paint the face on and I want to still be able to see it. So the problem that I had with this doll is that I have been playing around with the clothing in Procreate, and it just, every time I printed it out, the clothing didn't fit the body. So last night I was thinking, what are you doing? Just lay it down and trace it. So that's what I did. I actually did it kind of old school. No, I might as well give this one a coat too. And I just laid these dolls down and I traced, and then I reprinted the page with the clothing on it. And I just printed everything out, and before, well, okay, let me back up. It's hard to paint and think and speak at the same time. So I took the one that I printed out and it didn't fit. So I put it on here and traced it. And then I took that tracing, cut it out with one side a little bit bigger than the area that I had to cut out. And then I folded it in half because this doll is symmetrical. So I wanted the clothing to be perfectly symmetrical. So just like when you're folding things in half, and like we did snowflakes, only I just folded it in half to cut it. I don't know if that even makes any sense. I'm only on coffee number 2. Let me do the face part. Now I'm just going to give her a little bit of a skin color here. And then I'll go back in and add a little pink to her face. I'm just doing a little of this tan color with a little bit of white to lighten it up. I've got one little half Italian, half Lebanese. That's Skylar. And then Carson is, well, I wouldn't say she's half Italian. My ex-husband's 100% Italian. And I just have a lot of stuff. Irish, Scottish, a little bit of Italian, a little tiny bit of Native American in there somewhere. On a couple sides of my family. And then, so Kylie has a lot of that Irish from her dad's side. We have a big melting pot family, a little bit of everything, which is very interesting when you're looking up history. Okay, I think she is covered well enough that there's a good base on there. And then I can go back and add little pink cheeks and stuff, but I want to get the face in first so I don't have to do it all over again by scratch. It's easier to have it all printed on there nice and even and go over it. And this project has taken me a really, really long time to do. So we got to move on. If you watch my personal channel, you'll see that I was very frustrated yesterday and stressed out. And this project did not help because it was to try and figure it out was very frustrating. But I like these challenges because once I'm done, I have the templates now. I can do this over and over again. And if the girls want to come over and do a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of dark on the sides of her legs. Darker here and down here. So we'll just kind of do that. And then I'll do a little lighter down the middle for highlights. Yeah, if they want to come and do some little masterboards of their own and make some clothes for these dolls, then they'll be able to, because I'll have the pattern done. I'll add a little highlight here, little highlights there. There, I think that's good enough. And you know how I work. If I don't like it when it's dried, I'll just go back in and do another layer. Let's do a little bit of highlight here and here. Now I could get lost in this and just spend the whole day just painting this little, but no time. We don't have time for that today. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. Oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna paint. Oh, what happened? Oh, I had the timer on my light. Let's turn the timer off. There we go. And then raise that light up. Sometimes with these little lights that I have, they're little light box things. They're like a touch screen, so it's very easy to hit that. This is not going to be a good, well, it will be in the middle. It's very easy to hit that timer button without realizing it. Aw, she's going to be so sweet. Yeah, so like I was saying before, now I've got the patterns, and eventually I'll put these patterns up for you to copy if you want. These can definitely be done a lot easier on paper. You know, if you just want a one-time project and the kids can play with them for a little while and then they go away in the garbage, you can just print them out. You can print these out on, you could print the clothes out on scrapbook paper. There. Now she's got a, I know it's hard to see, but she's got a little pink start in there, and I will go in and I can barely see the eyes in this one. All right, I'm going to let this one dry, and then I'll come back and we'll put the face on. I'll do another coat. You don't have to watch that. I'll do another coat so it's not so streaky. But I just wanted to get those colors in there and see how it dries, because of course acrylic paints always dry darker. And so let me work on that. And then actually, let's, just because I'm curious, let's see. See, this is where I wish that I would have done a like a stencil so I could see what's going on here. But let's take a nice little cross section of this and see how that comes out. And I'm just going to take a pencil and trace it out. And then figure out how to get this on this. Okay, upon further reflection, this is pretty strong. So I think I'm going to just, and I could glue this on another layer so it's a little bit flatter. You see it's kind of a little bit warped from the water, but it's not going to tear easily. It's quite thick. And I think that's going to be perfect. So I think what I'm going to do with these, which I could just use them as templates, but I think I'm going to paint these. And then there'll just be another piece here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave these and I'm going to paint these just like I did the body, and then that gives me two skirts, and then I'll do the same for these, and then that way I can cut out a lot more pieces. That's going to be awesome, because now I don't have to cut out a bunch more of these. I can just use the Masterboards. Yay! Awesome. Okay, that's a good plan. And I love her little skirt with her little flowers, and I think that's so cute. And maybe I'll add a little embellishment here. So, okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, because this is such a much larger project than I planned, I'm gonna leave it at this for now. Here's what she looks like so far. And I'm just gonna kind of smooth out the edges with a nail file later, but I did coat it with, what is this? Matte medium. And I think I'm gonna seal this side too. I think I'm gonna put some popsicle sticks here to make sure that it's nice and strong and doesn't bend as easily. And let me show you. So I'm going to do some solid colors and then maybe hand painted flowers on these. And I'll work on these more with the little girls so they can help tell me what they want. But she does have several outfits here. So I'm going to leave these as my templates because now that I'm playing around with it, these cardstock, these are pretty solid for clothing. And then this is just that packing paper. So I will glue this onto a little bit stiffer paper. And I have lots of scraps to do that with. But so far, she's got several outfits here. She's got some different hairstyles too, but I haven't cut them out yet. So that's cute. That's one of our little Masterboard Monday pieces. And then she could wear this little outfit, which doesn't really match that well. I gotta cut a different section of this, but you know, the girls don't care. Then we've got, we can change out her little tank top. This is the only long hair one, so I think the shorter hair will be easier for them to change. And then this one, you know, she could wear her little bathing suit with her skirt, but she also has a pair of shorts, so that's fun. And then we have to do a bunch of accessories like purses, and I already have a lot of those cut out, so those are ready to go. I mean, I have the templates cut out. That's a pretty little dress right there. So there you go. It was a lot more detailed and frustrating than I thought, but I think it's really cute, and I would like to make a little box for her to go in and sit on the table safely. So I will make her a little box, maybe with some backgrounds that we can put behind it. So we'll build on this project, and I'll do this with Kylie and Skylar so that they can help me. And another idea was that I wanted to use some of their artwork from school to make some of the clothing. So I think that would be a cool idea. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I will put this in the description because this thing is amazing. I'll put the link in the description below. I mean, the paint lasts, I don't know how long it lasts. I haven't come in here and found dried out paint yet. This is from last week, I believe. I think it was from last week. So I will end it there, and I will give you updates on our little project as we move forward. And I hope you have a crafty and creative weekend. We're going to the beach tomorrow. Thanks for watching.